and welcome to this video walkthrough, which is designed to help you navigate our Working with Children and Vulnerable People check. So as an administrator, you're going to log into the WorkPro platform and you're going to send a request to a candidate. So logging in, and you can send a single request to a candidate or you can send requests in bulk. So selecting request, sending a request to a new candidate or sending a bulk request. Entering the candidate's name, their email address, and also if you have a branded portal within WorkPro, you choose the branded portal that you'd like to send or you'd like the candidate to view. Then coming over here to background checks, and you're going to select Working with Children and Vulnerable People check. You're going to then determine which state you require the Working with Children check. In this case, I'll choose Northern Territory, and whether they require the check for paid employment or volunteer. So selecting that, and you're going to then send the request to the candidate. So once the candidate's received their request, it's an email invitation with some instructions, a live link, and a single-use token. Now I'm going to switch across and I'm going to show you the candidate experience. So the candidate's received their email, they've clicked on the link, and they're either going to sign up or log into the WorkPro platform. So for the purposes of this video walkthrough, I'm just going to use an existing candidate, and they're required to enter that single-use token that I mentioned, which is contained in their email. Selecting background checks, and you can see here, Working with Children and Vulnerable People check, of which I'm going to start, and you'll see here, Working with Children check that is currently valid in Queensland. So they may have a Working with Children check that's valid in Victoria, but for the purposes of the role that they've applied for with your organisation, this is strictly that they need a current Working with Children or Vulnerable People check in Queensland. So three options: they'll need to apply for one, they have an application in progress, or they have one and they can upload their details here. So if the candidate selects that they need to apply for one, selecting here, once they click Start, a new window will open, directing them straight to the application for a blue card or yellow card in Queensland. If they select No, but they have an application in progress, they click OK, and they can enter the application number, and that then triggers the status update in the administrator dashboard, letting you know that this check is in progress. Or yes, they have one, and they're going to provide their details only now. So you can see here the requesting organisation requires the check to be eligible for paid employment. A check that is eligible for voluntary work only may not be accepted. Is your check eligible for voluntary work only? So you can see that this one is for paid employment, and now they're invited to upload their information. So the name, check number, you can see these are greyed out because of that, like I mentioned before, they require this check to be in Queensland for paid employment. The expiry date, have the opportunity to upload a copy of their card, agree to the terms and conditions, and then submitting. So that's the candidate experience. WorkPro is available on any device. So once the candidate's completed that requirement, your status will update in your dashboard and you'll receive an email alert as soon as that person has uploaded their Working with Children check. So if they haven't got one and they've had to apply for that Working with Children check, our system starts reminding them after 28 days that they are yet to upload a copy of that Working with Children and Vulnerable People check for your purposes. So if they have uploaded one or that is now ready for you to view, you simply log back into the WorkPro platform. And I'll use the filtering function in this case to look for a Working with Children check. So let me find that. Working with the Children. It's ready to acknowledge. So this is now your opportunity to view that card and making a decision about whether you want to accept it. So looking at this, let me say it's ready to acknowledge as an example. You can say Queensland for this paid employee. You can see that the person's uploaded that card. So you're checking that card, and then you're selecting accept. Once you've selected accept, a certificate will be produced. So that's that time and date stamp that provides that really important part of that compliance element for you. Additionally, if you would like to select periodic reschedule of a recheck of that Working with Children and Vulnerable People card. So let's have a look at proof accepted. That is absolutely possible. So let's look at proof accepted. and you say, I want to set a reminder. Yes, I want to set that reminder. Then you enter whether you would like to be reminded 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 24 dates from the month that's been completed. You enter that date and then you save. So on that date, our system will send you an email alert reminding you that you wanted to do a periodic recheck of this person or this card. You can then open up that check and then you can click recheck. WorkPro will take over. We will go to the database, the national database. We'll recheck that check for you, and then we will send you back the outcome or the status of that card. So whether it's been revoked or whether there's been some conditional changes. You don't have to do that, but that's an additional service or function that WorkPro offers. Of course, these cards do come due for renewal periodically, and our system will take responsibility for that, sending you reminders about the impending expiry, 90 days out, 60 days, 30 days from expiry, and also in our dashboard it will show those cards that have expired so that we can make sure that you're proactively managing that workforce compliance.